Hey everybody, wake up. This is Wake Up with Mark Joyner, episode number 81, and today we'll be talking about the that's not going well. The superhuman6.com 7-day challenge, day 5. Boom. All right, I clearly need to wake up a little harder here. Already got my morning routine in, but I'm feeling a little bit fuzzy. Maybe I need to do some more breath of fire, some more Wim Hof to get my brain turned on. Don't want to be drinking any coffee today. I've been out of coffee for a long time. By the way, I was off coffee for months because my gut just couldn't handle it. Then I tried it again recently, like these last few weeks, and I just don't like the way it makes my body feel. I wish I could say I love the way it makes my brain feel. I don't like the way it makes my body feel. I think it dehydrates you. Anyway, that's up to your own discretion as to whether or not you're going to use coffee. There are a lot of people out there who are very pro coffee. I know my buddy Dave Asprey would probably be aghast that I would suggest that coffee is anything other than super awesome. God bless the guy. He has some great products and is popularizing a lot of very important ideas out there. Coffee may not be for me. No offense to you, Dave. All right. So we're on day 5 of the challenge. 3 days left. This is kind of like where the gut check comes in. You know, a lot of people, you can start out, with the commitment hot, and then after a few days kick in, your brain starts playing tricks with you, right? You're coming up with excuses to not do it. Reasons why, you can take a day off. Well, I've already done 4 days, and I've already gotten a lot of benefit out of it. What happens if I miss 3 more? All the little stories you're telling yourself, right? And it's all lies. It's all lies. You got to be aware. All right. The key is to stay committed and to stay consistent. This is the key with anything, right? But not just consistent. You got to do it well consistently. They say that it's not practice that makes perfect, but perfect practice that makes perfect. Now, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If I had to choose between not showing up at all and showing up and doing it half-ass, I would show up and do it half-ass because at least you're showing up. But you got to get to a point where you're showing up and you're doing it properly every single time. So, if you look at what some of the special operations guys do in their training, a lot of the training is emphasizing people doing things right the first time and then showing up and giving your all every single time. This is the exact opposite mentality that most of society has been trained to be into these days. Mostly it's about mollycoddling each other and, showing up and doing your best and consoling everybody when, things don't work out for them. What does that do if that becomes our culture? That makes everybody weaker. It makes the entire culture weaker. It doesn't do those people that we profess to be helping any favors. If we wanted to do them a favor, we would demand that they rise up to the occasion and give their absolute best. So I want to challenge you for these last 3 days of the superhuman6.com 7-day challenge to get in there and then squeeze the muscles even harder. I don't know if you guys have seen the recent video that Thomas posted about this, but he was saying that the harder you squeeze your muscles, the more of the muscle fibers you recruit. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday, right? That this whole thing is about training your nervous system to turn on muscle fibers that are normally not turned on. And the harder you squeeze, the more fibers you're going to get engaged, the more benefit you're going to get from the exercise. So this morning, when I did my round of it, I was keeping that in mind, and I was saying, okay, am I really pushing myself as hard as I possibly can on these squeezes? It's like when you're doing the super plank, the first one, and you're really pulling in, how hard are you squeezing your glutes? How hard are you pulling in? Remember, it's just for 3 breaths, and there's no time on this. You can make that breath as long or as short as you want. You can make that squeeze as hard or as easy as you want. It's totally up to you. but the longer you push yourself and the harder you squeeze, the more benefit you're going to get from it. And what a lot of people don't understand about not just physical fitness, but anything, is that sometimes it's those last few seconds that make the difference between somebody winning and losing, right? I mean, think about it. If you're doing a set for hypertrophy training, for example, most of that real benefit comes in those last few reps. I mean, you're not really getting the training effect in the earlier reps, but when you get, into those later ones where the muscle fibers are starting to tear a little bit and you're really pushing yourself into the maximum range of your capacity, that's where you build the strength, because it's like you're sending a signal to the body saying, hey, in order to survive, we require a new set point that is a little bit higher and a little bit harder than what we had before. And you keep sending that signal to your body responds and it says, okay, that's what you need. That's what we're going to give you. Okay, but if you don't give your body that stimulus, you're not going to get that impact. That's the key. And the more consistently and the more intensely and the more correctly you do that, the better the quality of the response that you're going to get every single time. So consistency, intensity, and accuracy. Think about those things. They are all very, very important. Now, again, if it was between you not showing up at all and showing up half-ass, show up half-ass. Okay, like Woody Allen said, 90% of life is showing up. Okay, that's true, because sometimes when you show up, then you end up putting out a little bit harder than you thought you would. Okay, so at least start it. But once you've started it, then flip your mind into a new mode. So if you're sitting there thinking, should I do it? And then you're thinking in your mind, man, this is going to be really, really hard. Well, then you might not be, likely to do it. So imagine it being easy. And by the way, as you're squeezing your muscles hard, as you're in that position, pushing yourself, you don't have to make yourself suffer through the whole thing. You can, like we were talking about yesterday, you can get into your mind and just be there with your pain. It's like, you're squeezing really hard, and sometimes we're making it harder on ourselves because we are imagining that it's painful. We're imagining that it's harder than it actually is. So a really good coping mechanism is, all right, let me squeeze as hard as I can and let me sit here and be with the pain. Let me think, how hard is this actually? How much pain am I actually enduring? Is it as bad as I am making it in my mind? And can I still squeeze hard? Can I still push myself and be in a relaxed state of mind that is present to the actual pain, that is not making up some imaginary pain that doesn't exist? And we all do that all the time, and we need to be aware and cautious of that. All right, you guys, that's it for today. You have a beautiful day. I will talk to you all tomorrow. I want to hear back from you guys if you are still doing the challenge. I know a lot of you guys are lurking and you're not commenting. Some of you guys are probably doing the challenge, you're just not commenting. I want to see those comments, especially on the superhuman6.com website. Let's see who is actually showing up. If you have been and you've been lurking, which I know is a lot of you guys, especially from some of the private messages I'm getting messages from people who are saying, hey, I'm doing it, but I'm not commenting. Okay, I want you guys to start commenting. Why? Because when you show up publicly and you let other people know that you're doing it, you are giving them permission to show up and do it as well. All right? It is an act of generosity to show that you're doing it. You're not showing off, you're not bragging, you're actually inspiring somebody else. So let's see a little bit more of that today. All right, you take care, guys.